The call by Professor Lord Mensah comes as government is looking for ways to mitigate the hardships Ghanaians are facing as a result of the continuous depreciation of the cedi. The year 2022 especially has recorded some of the worst performances from the local currency, depreciating by close to 50% against the US dollar, according to Bloomberg. The continuous hike in fuel prices on the global markets, the Russia-Ukraine war and the high rate of inflation are some of the factors that account for this situation. The cedi, which started the year 2022 selling at 6 cedis to $1 on the interbank market and 6 cedis 49 pesos to $1 on the retail market, is currently selling for 13 cedis 80 pesos to $1 on the retail market and 13 cedis 1 peso on the interbank market. This comes a few days after it crossed the 15 cedi mark on the retail market. Professor Lord Mensah has been speaking to Citi News on what can be done to sustain this performance.
The frequent assurance to the market is very, very important, and management should know that. They shouldn't go quiet for all this while from, somewhere in June that we started having problems. We never heard of, the economic management, how they are responding to this. But the little effort that they've put in, you realize that the market has seen some kind of, stability. The dynamics, I take interest rate, I take inflation, and I take the exchange rate. We've been bubbling, right? It has been bubbling all this while, and we need that kind of interventional burst. And where will the interventional burst be coming from? It will come from management, economic management. So now government says, okay, fine, if you have dollar accounts and you want to take it, we'll give you cedis, right? And you want to take it unless you leave it in the accounts. We'll give you cedis with Bank of Ghana's rate. So it's that kind of intervention, and then also possibly having an IMF program which is going to tone down government expenditure, reduce government external borrowing and all those, to give some assurance in the investment space. And as a result of that, it should be able to bring all this rate down.
He also reiterated calls for government to introduce more measures to broaden the country's export base and increase domestic production in its quest to stabilize the cedi in the long term.
The main thing that brings in the dollar are the loans and then sometimes our export. But over the years we have been sacrificing our export and production drive for loans. And it's not in Ghana alone. Since the opening of the Eurobond market, I have a paper, even a published paper, that indicate that African countries have been replacing their production and then, export drive with Eurobond, because export will give you dollar, and then when you produce, indirectly, you don't import more. So effectively, they have replaced it with, the Eurobond, which is an easy way of, getting dollars into your environment. And so that has been the problem. And in the normal circumstance, when you borrow, that facility that you're going for must be able to enhance your production. So more or less, you borrow and use it to build up your production. And by the time that you stop borrowing, your production is in full swing to take over, your dollar inflows. Because out of your production, you can get some export, you can reduce your import in a way, and that will have, some stability. But that is the problem we are facing in this country.
For Citi News, I am Netele Neti.